my kind of micro question to you right now is, why are you describing things so esoterically? That's it. That's the question.
So I'll tell you why. Because so the beautiful thing about stories is the same story can hold us through our life. When you tell a 10-year-old or a 5-year-old that, look, Rama held up the bow and then the bow broke and then he married Sita, it's great. But when you are in a journey of seeking within, which presumably you are on voluntarily, at that point too, the same story can sustain you. There may come, and not may, there will come a point in every seeker's life where sadhana is not so romantic, where it's feeling difficult. At that point, can the same stories speak to us differently? So the same Rasa Leela of Krishna is beautiful when we're young. That, oh yes, Krishna is dancing and Janmashtami is coming, so school mein to sab karwayenge hi. They'll have all of these things. Great, nothing wrong with it. That's how you introduce it. You cannot introduce this to a typical or an average child. But if you give them the basics, what happens is these esoteric conversations that we are having, these have space to emerge. You plant the seed, it will germinate when it has to.
Wow.
The thing about esoteric conversations is there is always a tendency to over-intellectualize things also. So there are ways to level that, because even with Krishna, we can go on just decoding, but too much of decoding, he will only say, stop, no, just come and love me. Don't try and understand me. Understanding is required to a point that we say, oh my God, itna hai, there's just so much. But you pause at that point and say, now I just want to love. And that happens by going to Vrindavan. That happens by just chanting his name, by just singing his songs, just being in that environment. So esoteric conversations are important, absolutely. Like you said, we revisit the same thing multiple times and say, oh, is it speaking to me? It'll speak to a seeker. In some way or the other, it'll speak to him.
Before we started rolling, I was telling you about my Bhairav sadhana and Shiva sadhana. One of the easiest ways that I found to connect with Shiva is just going Om Namah Shivaya to dispel my own sense of overthinking, because I know I have an overactive mind and it works like magic for me. When I'm afraid, I go back to my childhood mantra, which is Om Namo Datta hai. My question to you is, if someone wants to connect with Krishna really fast, do you just say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna?
Take her name.
Radha.
Radha Ramana, Radha Krishna. Because she not only will dispel any other sound that's happening, she will filter off all of that, and at the same time she will teach us to inculcate that sense of love, because prema bhakti is one of the easiest ways in Krishna Margam. See, the thing is, when you look at Krishna, it's lovely to think of Krishna and Vrindavan. When I go to Vrindavan, I will say Radhe Radhe. What about in my circumstance? What if I'm meeting somebody and I'm saying, what is this? Can I look at that person as Krishna? But for me to look at that person as Krishna in my day-to-day interaction, I need to have recognition that there is Krishna inside him. How do I do that? I keep invoking Radha. Because Radha will give me the recognition and the power to realize that everyone around me is also Krishna. But that takes time. So it is said that after Radha was crowned as the queen of Vrindavan, as Vrindavan Adhishtatra Devata, she sent an instruction to everybody that I like Krishna Namam, because Radha takes us to Krishna. So she said everybody in Vrindavan must chant Krishna. And then one fine day, somebody goes to Krishna and finds that he's chanting Radha. So he sends an instruction back and says, please let everybody chant Radha because I like this. And then she modifies it and says, okay, in Vrindavan, because Krishna likes my name, everybody say Radhe. So that's why in Vrindavan when you go, people will say Radhe Radhe, because it is for Krishna. It is an act of love for Krishna. You want to go closer to Krishna, just try this as a sadhana for X number of days. Fix the number of days at your will. Every conversation you have, beginning and end, place Radhe Radhe. It will change the way you speak. You will not speak rubbish. It will change the way you think. You recognize the other person in front of you as Radha, which means love, which will take you to Krishna. It will change your current circumstances also. It's not an ordinary thing. That's why the people who live in Vrindavan are blessed. They say Radhe Radhe all the time. They will not say Namaste. They will not say Theek hai ji. When they hang up, when they answer, it is Radhe Radhe. And that is immensely powerful. That's the thing with Krishna. You don't need complicated mantram, yantram, tantram. All of them exist. I'm not in any way saying that they don't or they have less value. But Namam does the job here. Because that Namam is the essence of all these things. All of that fortified power is there in those two aksharas, Radha. and put his name after that, she'll be happy. He'll be happy because her name is there. Put them. That's all you need. Same thing with Rama. Sri Rama is enough. That's all you need. So one thing that's the power of Nama. Nama Sankirtanam is phenomenal because just by repeating it, you can actually get to a state where you can hear that Namam is reverberating across the universe. But that of course takes years and years and lifetimes, not years. But yes.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out all the other clips we've uploaded on this channel. You'll find a clip related to almost every single topic as long as you're willing to search for it.